So Donald Trump's campaign manager threatened me on social media today. I'm not joking, but is anybody really surprised by this development? Is anybody taken back? I mean, this is who the Trump campaign is. This is who Donald Trump is. If you disagree, they will come after you. If you're not bending the knee, if you're not kissing the ring, if you're a dissenter, well, you're an enemy. In the world of Donald Trump, in the eyes of Donald Trump. I mean, remember, this is a guy who said that he wants retribution if he wins the presidency, God forbid. This is a guy who said he wants to be dictator on day one. So it's perfectly in line with Trump, and his campaign manager is certainly in line with Trump. So this all started when the Supreme Court released their disastrous immunity decision this morning, stemming from Donald Trump's January 6th case in Washington, D.C. He appealed it all the way up to the Supreme Court, saying just because he was president, he can't be prosecuted. And they gave him a small win in the sense that they gave him partial immunity. But the big win for Donald Trump is the delay, pushing back the trial even further, likely not even beginning until after the November election. So in response to all of this, I put out this on social media, on Twitter, saying, according to the Supreme Court, Biden can now send in SEAL Team 6 to take them all out. He could send in the military to take out Donald Trump. He has, quote, immunity for official acts now. And this is actually in reference to Justice Sonia Sotomayor's dissent in the case, where she wrote, quote, when he, the president, uses his official powers in any way under the majority's reasoning, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. Order the Navy SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? Immune. Organizes a military coup to hold on to power? Immune. Takes a bribe in the exchange for a pardon? Immune, 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 immune. Right? So Sonia Sotomayor is giving a scathing dissent, which is the case, that in a world of which Donald Trump wins the presidency again, he could send in SEAL Team 6 to take out his political rivals and be found immune, not face any criminal prosecution for it at all, which is why this case is so disastrous. And now that means that President Biden has the same power, which was what, Sonia Sotomayor was kind of hinting at and what I talked about on Twitter. And the Trump campaign didn't like that very much. They didn't like that I brought up this fact. So we got this response on social media today from Trump's campaign manager, Chris LaCivita. He responded to my tweet saying, expect a visit. Expect a visit. Now, what do you think that means? What do you think that means? Expect a visit. Is he saying that the Trump campaign, his guys, are going to come to my house? They're going to tell me that I can't disagree with Donald Trump anymore? Is that what they're saying? Because, as I mentioned, it seems perfectly in line with what Donald Trump believes, what he wants a second term to look like, a dictatorship where anybody who disagrees with him, anybody who bucks his power will be targeted. They'll be gone after. And it seems like Chris LaCivita is suggesting as such that I'm to expect a visit from the Trump campaign. And look, I have a couple of things to say on this. My first thing is I would love the opportunity for LaCivita and Trump and his campaign to come meet with me face to face so I can tell them to their face how awful Donald Trump is, how terrible he is, how they're supporting a convicted felon, a proven sexual abuser, a proven fraudster who's facing an additional 54 felony charges in 3 different jurisdictions. I'd love the opportunity to tell them that to their face. So if they want to have a political debate, I'm happy to do that. But I really just think that this is symbolic, a perfect representation of the Trump campaign. If you disagree, if you are out of line, they go after you. They say expect a visit. They tell you to be on watch. I think that's a perfect representation of the Trump campaign. Their guy is so terrible, their candidate is so bad, is so terrible, that they have to resort to tactics like this. They can't just win on the merits. They can't win on the merits of their argument. Instead, they do stuff like this. It's unsurprising. It's unsurprising from the Trump campaign. And here's my simple message to Chris LaCivita and the entire Trump campaign. No, I won't be quiet. I won't be quiet. And the tens of millions of Americans out there who don't support Donald Trump and support President Biden won't be quiet either. They're going to continue to call out Donald Trump for what he is: a con man, a fraud, a convicted felon, a proven sexual abuser, a twice impeached disgrace. That's what we're going to keep calling Donald Trump out for, because he deserves to be called out. And whether Trump world likes it or not, whether they like it or not, those are the facts. That's the truth. That is who Donald Trump is. And to be clear here, it wasn't just the official Trump campaign who came after me. It was also Trump surrogates like Laura Loomer. Are you familiar with the lunatic that is her? She, sometimes goes to Mar-a-Lago to hang out with Donald Trump. He called her an amazing person. Here's what she said on social media. Donald Trump's campaign manager says Harry Sisson will be getting a visit from the Secret Service over his tweet today calling for the assassination of Donald Trump. Now, if you have the reading comprehensions of above a second grader, you would obviously see that that is not what we called for at all. It was pointing out the Supreme Court's dissent and what they have now authorized for the presidency, but they won't, follow the truth. They don't have any care in the world for what is actually true, for what was actually said. They just want to intimidate. If you're not in line with them, if you don't agree with them, if you're not on their side of the aisle, they'll distort the truth and then even have the campaign manager of the Trump campaign saying that you're going to expect a visit, whether that means from apparently the Secret Service, I guess Laura Loomer's in contact with them, I'm not sure, or the Trump campaign as a whole. That's what they'll do. But I'm not backing down. I don't think you are either. And I don't think anybody should. The Trump campaign shall not intimidate and not get away with it. We're going to continue to fight for democracy, continue to fight for what's right, because not only is it important, not only does it help the country, not only does it help preserve our democracy, but the fun part about it is that we know it gets under the Trump campaign's skin. They don't like it. They don't like when you use your voice. They don't like you when you go out there and try to convince people to not vote for their guy. They don't like when you're campaigning for Biden. They don't like when you're talking to your friends, family, and loved ones about Biden's achievements and why they should vote for him over the convicted felon. They don't like any of that. They don't like the work. They don't like you using your voice. They don't like the democracy. They don't like the United States. They don't like the institutions we got here. They don't like the rule of law. That's the Trump campaign. We see it every single day of our lives, whether it be Trump himself, his surrogates, or even his campaign manager. So my message to Chris LaCivita is no, we won't be quiet. And I hope you as well have that similar message. Leave it in the comments. Let me know how you feel about all this. I'll wrap up the video there. I just wanted to tell you about all this because what an insane thing for the Trump campaign to do. You'd think that they have some more important things on their hands. But no, apparently the social media threats are number one on the list. Number one. So anyway, I'll wrap up the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. As always, make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also drop a like on the video and comment, as I mentioned. Let me know what you think about all this. And look, I appreciate you so much, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.